The message landed on a burner phone inside a lawyer's office in downtown Toronto at 3 a.m. Short, unsigned, and unsettling for the person reading it from Montecito. "The vault is opening. I'm done protecting you." For years, Jessica Mulroney stayed in the background of the Sussex story. She was the stylist, the close friend, the wedding planner, and someone who knew far more than the public ever realized. Then everything changed fast. Jessica's public fallout came through a social media controversy that insiders later described as a clean break, not a misunderstanding. Meghan Markle cut ties completely. No statement, no support, just silence. And that silence spoke loudly. But Jessica didn't vanish. She waited, gathered records, and kept notes. According to sources close to her, she later participated in sealed legal discussions connected to protecting herself professionally. These accounts are not about fashion or ceremonies. They focus on personal dynamics behind the scenes, especially involving Marcus Anderson. Jessica is described as someone who spent time with Meghan and Marcus in Toronto and observed their interactions up close. Sources claim her statements describe behavior she found disturbing at the time. One alleged quote recalls her saying she witnessed moments that felt manipulative, not romantic. "It wasn't physical," she reportedly said. "It was about influence." She allegedly described late nights where strategy discussions replaced personal conversations. According to these claims, they talked about media pressure, public image, and emotional reactions. Jessica reportedly told her legal advisors that she felt uncomfortable watching how emotions were rehearsed and reactions planned. One moment she allegedly referenced happened during a private dinner in Toronto, shortly before the engagement news became public. Prince Harry briefly stepped away, and Jessica later claimed she sensed something that made her uneasy. She described the mood as calculated and cold, saying it changed how she viewed everything afterward. According to allegations attributed to Jessica Mulroney, there was a moment she says she will never forget. She claims that Meghan Markle looked at Marcus Anderson and said that once the ring was secured, the situation would be permanent. Jessica alleges that laughter followed, and she recalls feeling stunned by the tone. To her, it didn't feel like friendship. It felt calculated. Jessica's alleged account challenges the public love story. She suggests that Marcus played a far more central role behind the scenes than most people realize. In her version, Meghan wasn't reacting to royal life. She was actively navigating it with guidance. Jessica admits she stayed quiet for years because she believed she was part of something powerful until she wasn't. According to sources, when her own reputation collapsed, she reassessed everything. Now, she is said to be organizing timelines, messages, and personal notes to protect herself legally. These materials, she claims, show intention rather than accident. She maintains Meghan didn't wander into royal life blindly, but followed a carefully considered path. Jessica reportedly believes the most damaging part isn't personal mistakes, but alleged mockery. She claims that while forgiveness is possible, disrespect toward Princess Diana's memory would be unforgivable to Prince Harry. That fear, sources say, is what has caused deep anxiety behind closed doors. In later alleged statements, Jessica explains that what disturbed her most was not romance or ambition, but emotional detachment. She describes moments where discussions felt strategic rather than human. One evening in early 2017 stands out to her vividly. Jessica claims she walked into her living room and saw documents spread out, photos marked, and conversations focused on obstacles and optics. She alleges that roles were discussed, narratives assigned, and emotional reactions planned. When the conversation turned to Harry, she says the tone shifted from affection to analysis. According to her account, she felt she was witnessing something cold and methodical. Not love, but management. Not partnership, but strategy. And that realization, she says, changed how she saw everything forever. This is the reality that Jessica Mulroney claims she is exposing. In her account, the so-called love story wasn't romance, it was strategy. She says she was initially charmed by the closeness between Meghan Markle and Marcus Anderson, believing they were simply protective of each other. But one night changed her view completely. According to Jessica, Marcus wasn't shielding Meghan from the world, he was coaching her on how to manipulate it. That realization, she claims, opened her eyes to what came next. Before Prince Harry, there was Corey Vitiello, a successful chef Meghan was dating seriously. Jessica and her husband were close to the couple, but she alleges that once Harry was identified as a better opportunity, Corey was erased. Jessica claims Meghan began rewriting her past while still living in Corey's home. She alleges movers were directed to remove everything, leaving no trace behind. "Make it look like you were never here," she claims Marcus instructed. To Jessica, it wasn't a breakup, it was a deletion. One alleged remark still haunts her. When Jessica questioned how Meghan could leave so coldly, she claims Meghan replied calmly that Corey was just the beginning. That was the moment Jessica says she realized this wasn't emotional detachment, it was operational thinking. Jessica alleges the thrill wasn't love, but control. The planning phase happened quietly in Toronto, she says, and the wedding was simply the execution. According to her account, the fairy tale shown to the world in May 2018 masked something far more calculated. In the months before the wedding, Jessica claims the atmosphere inside royal residences felt transactional. She describes walking into rooms filled with gifts being cataloged, not celebrated. In her telling, Marcus wasn't a guest, he was overseeing everything. And that, she says, is when the full picture finally became clear. According to alleged testimony attributed to Jessica Mulroney, one moment that deeply unsettled her took place during preparations inside royal residences. She claims the atmosphere felt transactional rather than celebratory. Spreadsheets were reportedly open, and Marcus Anderson was said to be researching the value of luxury items. To Jessica, it didn't feel like gratitude, it felt like assessment. She alleges comments were made about storing high-value items elsewhere, just in case circumstances changed. Jessica claims that suggestion alone made her uncomfortable. In her view, it suggested planning for multiple outcomes rather than commitment. Jessica also references what later became known publicly as the tiara dispute. While media reports focused on emotion and frustration, she claims the tension stemmed from advice given behind the scenes. According to her account, Marcus encouraged Meghan Markle to treat the situation as symbolic, framing compromise as weakness rather than protocol. She alleges she witnessed Meghan shift emotionally when Prince Harry entered the room and that he believed he was acting on instinct. In Jessica's version, he didn't realize he was reacting to guidance shaped earlier. Jessica also addresses reports involving the Flower Girl fitting. She stresses that no harm occurred, but claims the environment felt tense and emotionally charged. According to her, expectations around posture and presentation reflected pressure rather than malice. She describes feeling unsettled by the dynamic and by how quickly emotions escalated. As the wedding approached, Jessica says it became clear to her that this event felt more like a launch than a union. Standing inside St. George's Chapel, she claims she noticed Marcus focused on timing, not emotion. To her, that moment symbolized completion of a long-planned transition. Part 4 then shifts to early 2019 and the high-profile New York baby shower. Publicly, it was framed as celebration. Privately, Jessica suggests it reflected expanding celebrity influence rather than quiet family life. According to alleged testimony from Jessica Mulroney, the moment everything became clear was when she saw who was truly controlling the New York baby shower. Jessica claims the event wasn't centered on family or celebration, but on visibility and positioning. In her account, the guest list reflected influence, not intimacy. She alleges Marcus Anderson curated attendees based on strategic value. Names like Gayle King, Serena Williams, and Amal Clooney were discussed early. Jessica claims she was listed as planner in name only, while Marcus approved aesthetics, timing, and media exposure. "Make it look expensive," she alleges he said. Jessica also references a private conversation she claims to have overheard at the hotel. She stresses this is her personal recollection. According to her, the discussion focused on future opportunities rather than parenting details. She alleges Marcus spoke in business terms, describing long-term planning and protection. Jessica says the tone unsettled her deeply. She emphasizes that her concern was never about the child, but about the mindset she believed she was witnessing. In her account, she felt uncomfortable hearing language that sounded strategic rather than emotional. She recalls thinking a baby should be a blessing, not a contingency. Jessica further claims that the paparazzi moment outside the hotel was not spontaneous. According to her, photographers were tipped off, and timing was coordinated. She says Prince Harry believed the attention was dangerous and unplanned, unaware of what she describes as media orchestration. In Jessica's view, the baby shower served as a demonstration of independent star power. She alleges data was being gathered, reactions measured, and narratives tested. And when her own public controversy later erupted, she believed loyalty would be returned. Instead, she claims silence followed, calls unanswered, support absent. According to Jessica, that silence marked the end. Less than an hour after reaching out privately, she alleges a brief message arrived that made one thing clear: she was no longer protected. According to alleged testimony from Jessica Mulroney, the message that ended everything did not come from Meghan Markle, but from Marcus Anderson. She claims the text was short, cold, and final. In her recollection, it stated that she had become a liability and was no longer to make contact. To Jessica, it didn't feel personal. It felt procedural. She says this wasn't a friendship ending, but a termination. According to her account, Marcus removed her from Meghan's life the way a company removes a risk. What disturbed her most wasn't the silence afterward, but what she describes as hypocrisy. Jessica alleges she has private messages from Meghan sent shortly before the public controversy, which she believes contradict the public image later presented. She claims that in private settings, discussions around social causes were sometimes treated casually or strategically rather than emotionally. Jessica insists she was used to fit different narratives at different moments, depending on what was needed. In the weeks that followed, Jessica claims media stories began circulating that reframed their entire relationship. Articles suggested distance and imbalance, erasing years of closeness. According to her, loyalty, shared experiences, and trust were wiped away in a single cycle. Jessica says she then understood the decision wasn't moral, it was tactical. She believes her credibility had to be weakened before she could ever speak. By shaping public perception early, she claims her voice was neutralized. Now, with her career damaged, Jessica says she no longer feels bound by silence. She describes herself as someone who kept secrets for years, but no longer sees a reason to protect others. In her closing account, she suggests that people often believe they are indispensable until they aren't. She ends by claiming the most disturbing moments she witnessed weren't about money or status, but emotional mimicry tied to public perception. These moments, she says, stayed with her long after everything else collapsed. According to alleged testimony from Jessica Mulroney, what disturbed her most wasn't admiration, but imitation. She claims she once entered a guest room in Toronto and saw Meghan Markle watching a well-known 1995 interview of Princess Diana. Marcus Anderson was reportedly nearby, observing closely. Jessica says it quickly became clear this wasn't casual viewing. She alleges the video was paused repeatedly while Meghan practiced expressions and posture in a mirror. According to Jessica, Marcus offered feedback on tone, posture, and emotional delivery. To her, it felt rehearsed rather than reflective, and the realization left her shaken. Jessica claims she felt physically ill watching what she describes as emotional mimicry tied to real trauma. In her account, deeply personal moments from Diana's life were discussed analytically, as if they were cues rather than experiences. She alleges Marcus framed these traits as emotional triggers that could deepen attachment. Later that evening, Jessica claims Prince Harry called on FaceTime. She says Meghan immediately shifted her demeanor, matching what had just been practiced. To Jessica, it felt seamless and unsettling. She alleges Harry appeared deeply concerned, unaware of what she describes as a rehearsed interaction. Jessica suggests this shaped Harry's perception over time. In her view, similarities he later referenced publicly were not organic, but cultivated. She emphasizes this is her interpretation, but says the pattern troubled her deeply. Part 7 also addresses the letter sent to Thomas Markle. Publicly, it was framed as a personal plea. Jessica claims the drafting process was different. She alleges the letter was written carefully over multiple sessions, with attention paid to phrasing and future interpretation. According to her account, it was designed not just to be read, but to be scrutinized. Jessica maintains the tone during drafting was calm and deliberate, not emotional. She claims the intended audience wasn't just a father, but potential legal review. That realization, she says, marked the moment she fully understood the strategy at play. According to alleged testimony from Jessica Mulroney, the letter to Thomas Markle was edited with intent, not emotion. She claims Marcus Anderson adjusted wording in real time, removing phrases that sounded angry and replacing them with language meant to evoke sympathy. Jessica alleges the goal wasn't reconciliation, but reaction. She claims the strategy depended on the letter becoming public. In her account, the expectation was that Thomas would share it, triggering outrage and legal momentum. When news broke that excerpts had appeared in the press, Jessica says she expected devastation. Instead, she alleges she witnessed calm satisfaction. Jessica claims Meghan Markle did not react like a grieving daughter. According to her, Meghan appeared composed and relieved. She alleges the focus immediately shifted to legal positioning rather than family pain. To Jessica, that moment felt deeply unsettling. She also claims Prince Harry believed the letter was genuine. In her account, he was furious at the media and hurt on Meghan's behalf, unaware of the planning that allegedly preceded it. Jessica says he believed he was defending his wife, not participating in a strategy. In her closing statements, Jessica describes what she calls a familiar pattern. She claims she has seen similar cycles before: intense attachment, isolation, and eventual separation. She alleges current business decisions reflect preparation rather than partnership. Jessica also reflects on her own role. She admits she helped craft appearances and protect narratives for years. In her words, she didn't realize the larger consequences until it was too late. She claims she now feels responsible for staying silent when she shouldn't have. The final image she describes is haunting. She recalls seeing Harry anxious and withdrawn, while others appeared detached and focused elsewhere. To her, it symbolized a widening gap that could no longer be ignored. And that's where this story ends, with allegations, unanswered questions, and a warning left hanging in the air. If you want to stay up to date on stories like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters, and we'll see you in the next one.